We are now going to move on to the NFL, and we're going to start with our headlines. There have been a couple of rule changes that came out of the owners' meeting in Phoenix just a week ago today. The biggest one was eliminating players jumping over the line of scrimmage to block extra points or field goals. The second big change is approving a plan to centralize all replays from the league office in in the New York City Command Center. Instead of going under the hood, refs will have a conversation with the central office in New York City through a video tablet. Other rules passed include prohibiting teams from making multiple fouls on the same play to manipulate the game clock, ejecting players after 2 of the same unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and another experimental year of putting touchbacks at the 25-yard line instead of the 20. Adrian Peterson met with the New England Patriots today, but did not leave with a contract. This is his second free agent meeting. The first one was with the Seattle Seahawks. And an historic Michigan landmark in sports is set to be demolished. The Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan is set to be taken down. The Detroit Lions played there from 1975 through 2001. It also housed the Detroit Pistons for a while and was host to the 1982 Super Bowl. The investment group who owns it has until June 19th to apply for permits and announce a destruction date. This according to the Detroit Free Press. Pontiac Mayor Deidre Waterman says an implosion could be part of the demo. It is currently being used as a junkyard for Volkswagen cars involved in the diesel emissions scandal. It was originally reported that the Browns were either set to release or trade wide receiver Josh Gordon, but Vice President Sashi Brown has said otherwise. Quote, "We're not in a position at wide receiver to turn down a guy like Josh if we feel he settled himself. He has been suspended in each of the past 4 seasons under contract with the Browns." Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle Sharif Floyd's career may come to a premature end after complications from surgery. Floyd is dealing with nerve damage from surgery that happened in September to a torn meniscus. The nerve that controls his quadricep muscle is not responding well. It's possible that it will come back, but no one knows for sure. Last 2, the Vince Lombardi Trophy came out of a car accident unscathed. A Patriots employee was taking it to an event in Maine where he and his wife slammed into a deer. Their car was totaled and not able to drive, so a state trooper took them to their destination. The trophy is being taken all around the New England area. It was rattled up in Fairfield, Maine, on its way to Bangor, Maine. A trooper took them to their destination, like I said, and halfway through the trip, he didn't even know that they were taking the Lombardi Trophy. He got a cool Instagram post with it, as anyone would. And a good rule of thumb is when you beat your opponent in the biggest game of the year, don't go to their hometown bar and drink at their bar. NFL draft prospect quarterback Deshaun Watson for Clemson beat the Alabama Crimson Tide in the national championship game and was told to leave a Tuscaloosa bar by its patrons. We're going to go over some releases in the NFL. The only one, and it's good riddance to defensive end Dion Jordan as he's released from the Dolphins. He hasn't played a game since 2014. Let's go into some signings around the NFL. Some important ones, pretty much all role players. The 49ers re-signed running back DeJuan Harris, former Packer, and they also signed Saints running back Tim Hightower. The Chiefs signed Cowboys tight end Gavin Escobar. The Cowboys re-signed tight end Jason Witten to a 4-year contract extension. They also give offensive coordinator Scott Linehan, defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli, and special teams coordinator Biscaycia to a contract extension as well. The Dolphins signed Rams safety TJ McDonald to a 1-year contract. This comes after he was suspended the first 8 games of the season without pay for violating the league's substance abuse policy stemming from a drugs DUI misdemeanor a couple months back. The Eagles make two good signings. They signed Patriots defensive end Chris Long to a 2-year deal, and they also signed Colts cornerback Patrick Robinson to a 1-year, $1 million deal. The Redskins signed Bills linebacker Zach Brown, who had a career year under Rex and Rob Ryan. The Vikings signed backup cornerback Case Keenum, as Teddy Bridgewater is not yet ready to come back. And ESPN has agreed to terms with former Bills head coach Rex Ryan to become a TV analyst for Sunday NFL Countdown, SportsCenter, ESPN Radio, and other platforms.